Usually, when you ask an AI a question about a physical location, like finding cafes near a specific landmark, there's this underlying fear of hallucination.
Oh, absolutely. You kind of just assume it's guessing based on,
Oh.
like, text it scraped off the internet years ago.
Right. But our mission for today's deep dive is to explore how that fuzziness totally disappears when you combine AI with hard code. We're pulling from Chapter 14 of Geospatial Data Science Essentials by Milan Janosov.
Yeah, it's a great technical book.
It really is, and it walks through building this GeoAI agent in under 40 lines of Python, which is crazy. And if you ask this agent for cafes within 500 meters of the Empire State Building, it doesn't just guess.
Right, it actually executes code.
Exactly. It geocodes the address to exactly 355th Avenue, checks a spatial index of, wow, 24,341 real-world points of interest, and tells you there are exactly 44 cafes.
That ability to execute code really changes the game. I mean, it answers by actively using tools. It's driven by what's called a REACT loop: reason, act, observe, and repeat.
So instead of a traditional code pipeline, which is, like baking with a fixed recipe where the steps are totally set in stone, this agent acts more like a chef tasting the soup mid-meal and adjusting.
Yeah, it plans its next move based on what it literally just observed.
But wait, before we get to the reasoning part, let's talk about the tools. For someone who isn't a database engineer, how is scanning that spatial index different from just like Command F searching a giant spreadsheet?
Well, a spreadsheet forces the computer to read every single row to check if a cafe is nearby, but a spatial index actually organizes the data by its physical geometry.
Oh, okay.
So it essentially drops an invisible grid on the map. That lets the AI instantly place a 500-meter circle and grab only what falls inside that exact boundary. It's a massive shortcut.
Got it. So it has these incredibly sharp tools. But I was looking at how the textbook handles errors, and honestly, I don't get the design choice.
Which part?
The author builds the agent to just crash completely if it makes a mistake, like grabbing a wrong coordinate. Wouldn't developers want the AI to catch that error silently so the user never even knows?
In a production app, yeah, absolutely. You'd use silent recovery frameworks for a smooth experience. But Janosov is making a very deliberate pedagogical choice here. He wants it to fail fast.
Right, because it's meant for learning.
Exactly. If you're learning how to build these things, a hidden error that the AI tries to silently patch over is, well, it's a nightmare to debug. You wouldn't know why it gave you a weird answer.
That makes sense. It crashes loudly so you can see exactly where the logic failed.
Exactly.
So once the loop is actually working and pulling in real city data, it hits 32 official Manhattan neighborhoods. And this raw data throws out some wild surprises.
Oh, the infrastructure numbers, right.
Yes. When you think of Manhattan, you just picture endless restaurants. But the spatial index shows the city's infrastructure outnumbers the eateries. There are over 6,000 benches and 3,600 bike racks compared to just 3,400 restaurants.
Which is fascinating because that fundamentally changes how the AI analyzes a neighborhood.
Like with Soho.
Yeah, take Soho. The book asks the agent to summarize it, and the AI doesn't just pull up a pre-written Wikipedia summary. It actively queries 915 local points of interest.
But how does looking at raw data points turn into a summary?
By fusing its pre-trained linguistic knowledge with that local hard data, the language model already knows the semantic concept that bike racks and benches are heavy in dense commercial areas.
Oh, wow.
So when the spatial tool feeds back this massive ratio of bike parking compared to residential buildings, the AI connects the dots. It deduces on its own that Soho is a visitor-facing commercial hub.
That is so cool. But that fusion gets seriously tested when you throw a messy human request at it. Say you tell the agent, I'm a picky eater staying in the financial district. I want sit-down restaurants, no fast food, and I don't want to travel more than a kilometer.
The financial district is the perfect stress test for this because it sits right at the southern tip of Manhattan. A strict 1-kilometer circle from the center is mostly water.
Right. 3 sides are just the Hudson and East Rivers.
So the AI has to anchor itself correctly. It calculates a valid coordinate, realizes the spatial index doesn't extend into the water, and strictly runs its query on the landmass to find 165 proper restaurants.
And it handles the no fast food rule, right?
Yeah, without any special code, it just deliberately chooses not to query the fast food category.
But this highlights a crucial limitation for you listening. The agent tells you there are 165 options, and then it simply stops.
Right, it doesn't rank them.
Exactly. It doesn't rank the vibes or tell you which street is the prettiest to walk down. It stops exactly where its tools stop, showing a very strict boundary to its reasoning.
It has the discipline to not invent capabilities or subjective opinions it just doesn't have.
Which is refreshing. We've seen how just a handful of Python tools can ground a language model in reality. And since this agent learns new environments automatically just by reading updated data files with zero code changes, it leaves us with a wild thought.
What's that?
What happens when we start feeding it live, real-time city data? Could your map app soon negotiate a dynamic route through a living, breathing city, dodging sudden road closures, or finding a pop-up cafe on your behalf? It's something to chew on the next time you ask your phone for directions.